So what makes a Sarah Haran handbag so unique, apart from the fact it's called after you?
I know. Well, do you know, other than it's got my name on, which feels a little bit vain, I have to say, but I think for me, it's this two-in-one versatility and the endless looks that you can actually create just from one handbag. That gives me a thrill, and it also means that people can actually customize it for their own personality.
So just taking you back a little bit, and how you created these and why you created these.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hobby to start with. I never intended it to become a business, I have to say. It was just a hobby, filling in some time in between my job. And I thought, actually, I want something that's quite creative. And the thing I like about handbags, actually, is that you can make them in pieces. So it all happens at the very end. So each night you could make one section of a bag. You might make a tassel, you might make a handle, you might make a strap. And then at the weekend, you got peace and quiet to put it all together, and suddenly you've got a handbag. And it's quite transformational. It's kind of strange.
So were you always making the handbag that you needed?
Yes, when I started, it was really about something that would suit me. So I was traveling loads and going from day to night. So out of the office, carrying a whole load of stuff, and then having to go to a networking event. So I would just take the front off my bag. It would match what I was wearing, and I would feel confident because I looked neat and tidy. And that was just a requirement for me in my job. And there we go.
Every bag that we have come to know and love, you have designed and probably made the prototype, have you, at some point or other?
Yes, yeah. And the Dahlia, our first bag, really, and that was a prototype. And actually the story behind it was I wanted a bag just to go back down to London one day. It was sitting in my room where I was making it, and a lady came in and said, "Oh, I really like that bag. What's that?" And I was like, no, you're here to get another bag that we designed together, and now you're asking me about this bag. And it just became our bestseller. And it was all about the versatility, being able to change the look, and the functionality as well. I've been really thoughtful about that. Too many handbags are black pits. This one, we've got our lovely pink signature lining. You can find everything. And that for me was really key. You want to be able to look and find.
So what advantage does your hobby give you when it comes to creating a new bag and dealing with the manufacturers?
Yes, that's actually been really useful because, again, I think, or as I understand it, when you do design straight from college, nobody really talks to the factory. And because I know how to make a bag, it means that they, can't make it more expensive. I can tell them how to do something, and I can visualize it in my head and work with them. So we do get a real bag that's made together. And that, I think, makes us a little bit more distinctive because I know what I want.
The one thing that I noticed straight away about your bag was the finish.
Yes.
And I'm talking about the stitching here, the thought that's gone into every little part of it.
Yes. For me, I wanted to make sure I could have my name is on it.
Yeah.
I want a bag that will last a lifetime, that is not going to fall apart. You don't want to be traveling and the handle on your bag falls off. So these little details that I've really thought about. So our handles, for instance, are double stitched, and inside they've actually got another piece that will stop it from falling apart. Nobody else really bothers to do about that because they just think, well, it's the inside of the bag, it doesn't matter. But the inside is actually as important as the outside. And if it's going to last, the quality, then it's got to be made properly.
And the security of the bag as well.
Yes, security is really important. So with us, and we do get these questions, everyone thinks, oh, the beauty of this bag, you just rip that off. Everyone's going to rip it off. But actually, as you can see, you really can't.
You know you guys.
And this tassel, not only does it look beautiful, but it means this stays attached. So even if somebody did, it just doesn't come off.
Yeah. So tell me about, well, I'm saying tell me about because I have been a guest at your Bags of Joy.
Our lovely club.
Your lovely club. I've been a guest once and I know I'm going to be a guest again. How did that come about?
It came about actually out of COVID. So I just thought that everyone was lonely at home and we would start a little club. And the idea was that we could talk to each other about something we were interested in. We had time on our hands and handbags was the talk. And I wanted to spread a bit of joy with it and just talk about, well, what's the joy for you in carrying a decent handbag? And that just escalated. People started joining and just talking about what brings joy to them in their lives. And it just spread out. Before we knew it, each week we were actually sending out gifts to people that our club ladies were nominating. So maybe a shelf stacker or a doctor, people that they had come across through COVID. And it's just stuck, and it's that supportive group that we've now got. And so, and we're all crazy about handbags.
And so, I can recall, of course, being a guest, and it was a very unusual situation because I didn't know what to expect. But we literally, over Zoom, we're just all chatting.
Yeah.
Some of us had got a glass of wine. I think I definitely had in my hand.
Yeah.
But the questions were coming and then I was answering them, but other people had got good answers as well. Yeah. Problems posed and fixed. All in an evening over a glass of wine talking about handbags. It was just...
What more do you need?
A delight.
Yes, no. And that's what we've really created. This is a really supportive group because there's nothing worse than a bunch of girls together. It can go either way, but in a supportive nature. And the fact that everyone likes handbags, but it's not just that, it's just the companionship.
Yeah.
They tell jokes to each other. I know they now DM. We've had people that didn't even know that they were living 2 streets apart from each other. Who would ever have thought that? And one lady in particular saw a picture of her friend, or this lady, out with a bag and said, I recognise that. And before she knew it, they realised that they lived within 2 streets, out for coffee, and now they've become great friends.
Fabulous. So, all over a handbag.
How
gorgeous is that?
Yeah, it's lovely.
So I took a look at the base, actually, of this bag straight away. Our favourite dahlia.
Yes.
And the first thought I had was, what can I do with it? Because I haven't got this colour, but I have got other colours of dahlia. And I think obviously as a fan, as a collector, it's the fact that you can update this bag, change this bag so quickly. And I've got a pink ivy here with a tassel. And all I could think about immediately, because I've got an outfit in mind. I've always got an outfit in mind. Of course I have.
You've got to. So look how simple is that.
What I can do.
There we go. Same bag, now looks completely different.
And that is a total, to use your word, joy, that you can update a bag, whichever you've got. I've got quite a few of these colours now.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this thinking, what a great colour to use umpteen times.
Yeah. And it's an instant update, really.
Yeah.
And that for me is really important. You take one bag, I reckon you could use this bag 365 days a year, but every day you could make it look different just with the restyle concept that we've developed.
Yeah.
And for me, that's really special. That makes us unique. It means that you can just change the look endlessly. There is no end, genuinely, to how many looks that you could create. It drives us nuts, but it is true. We had an event, in fact, and we had 40 different ladies, all had different bags, different colours, same style, but everyone looked different because they'd put their own personality on it. I can't think of another handbag brand that does that.
I can't think of another handbag which has a very practical side to it. And then you can use it in the evening.
Yeah.
With not just the tassel, but obviously I've got a few embellishments, really, that look like something gorgeous you'd wear around your neck normally, like a necklace. And you put it on. It just truly amazing.
There we go.
I hope you're very
what's
proud
your
of yourself.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, that's scary. So which is your favourite then? What's your favourite?
Well, you see, Dahlia will always be my first. It's like my first child.
Yes.
Dahlia was there, and I know that obviously you're first, really. But
Yes.
Poppy, I do love Poppy.
Yeah, she's great because you can put her on your
Yeah,
back.
and I live in London. I'm on the underground. I'm on buses. I move around quite a lot. I have Poppy there on my back, and if I go for city breaks, travelling, Poppy comes with me every single time.
Yeah.
With my little evening bag on the front.
With a little evening bag on the front.
Yeah.
And
nobody realises I've actually gone out with my evening bag in the day.
There we go. So we've succeeded in something.
You absolutely have. I love them.
Brilliant.
I met you actually through a mutual friend of ours, a lady called Grace Foda, who has a makeup company.
She does.
And I know that you'd been in London, and she said, "Yes, I know who would like your bags."
Yes.
And she brought me one over, gave it to me. And honestly, it was love at first sight. It really was. I couldn't quite understand. To start off with, Grace, what have I done to deserve this? She said, "You've done me so many favours.
Yep.
I'm going to give you something." Thank you very much. That's really kind of me. And I just remember opening the box, pulling all the tissue out, and seeing this bag, which actually is this colour.
Yeah, it's actually that
is
colour.
this colour.
Yes, it's that colour, yeah.
And I love the bag. But then I thought, what have I got to go with this bag? Mm-hmm. Because it's blue.
Yes.
And how many of us spend our lives with a beige taupe black
or black
bag, because we're going to spend money on a handbag, so let's have one that we're going to use
one
a
that
lot.
we'll wear for everything.
Then of course my mind opens. The fact that it went with jeans, it went with all the things of blue, and then of course I started changing the fronts.
Yeah, and so it matches everything.
It matches absolutely everything.
Yeah, which is perfect. Perfect
solution. Thank you very much for meeting up with Grace.
Yeah, and I met her. I literally met her at an event. So I'd never met her before, and we got chatting, and she showed me all her makeup and had a really good chat. And she just said, "Well, I'll keep you in mind if I ever need a handbag," and never thought much of it again, actually. And then she phoned me one day and she said, "I've got this friend and I want to do this." And I was like, "Make sure you write the card for me, Sarah." And I was like, "Yes, I will," and all of this. And it was so kind of her. And we didn't really think anything else about it. And then the next thing was your lovely video. And it was like that moment that people talk about, "Oh, amazing, I've heard of your bag. And you know, Anthea Turner's got one." And I was like, What are you talking about? So for us, it was an absolute thrill. And you do hear about these moments, and never thought that would happen to us. So
well, it was brilliant. A pleasure. And it was also you never asked me to film it. You never asked me to say anything or do anything. I think you were just glad I liked your bag. So that was honestly, but I think that's another gorgeous thing about girls, is that we find something, and it doesn't matter what it is, we want to share it with our friends.
Yes.
I want to tell my friends, and it doesn't matter whether I found a new perfume, a new bag, a new pair of shoes, a new cleaning product.
Yeah, just whatever it is.
The first thing you want to do is, by the way, when you have coffee with somebody, guess what? I've just bought this and it's really, really good. So, and that's how word has spread through your community.
Yes, it
your
has
tribe.
Been our tribe.
Our joyous tribe.
Our joyous tribe, yeah. And it is, it's word of mouth, and you can't beat it. And in many ways, it's the best type of feedback that you can get. It's the best way for a business to grow, because it's real, it's authentic. And for me, that makes me feel much prouder, because I've done something that people actually do like. In the early days, obviously, when you get asked, "Oh, who's got your bags?" And, well, my mum's friend. And when it gets beyond that, then you think, okay, well, you know, and I do point out to people now that, yes, I've sold a few bags, and not just to my mum's friends. So that for me is lovely. And I have had the opportunity of seeing a few people, mostly where we live, that I haven't ever met, carrying one of our bags. And that is kind of cool, to be fair.
That is cool.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of you there.
Yes, she's carrying a little bit of joy, a bit of Sarah Haran.
So you have no idea how delighted I am that bows.
Yeah, bow-tastic.
Yes, I absolutely adore them. And as we sit here, I'm now thinking, I've got the Chelsea Flower Show coming up very soon.
Lovely, yes.
And instead of having an outfit and then thinking what bag is going to go with that outfit. It's the other way around.
Yes.
It's this bag.
This is the addiction.
Yes. And I've now got to work my outfits around this.
Yes. Well, I think you're going to have to have a bow. Yeah. Bows looks lovely.
And the lovely thing is that anybody who has got a Dahlia bag or many of the others, all you have to do to update it, to make it look fresh as a daisy, is buy the bow.
Yeah. Or fresh as a Dahlia daisy. We give this as a new bag.
Yes. I love daisies.
Yes,
I've always loved daisies. Daisy chains.
Just lovely.
Let's do a daisy bag.
Daisy bag.
Yes.
Yes, we'll do one.